from dating apps to date. If you want to find the right girlfriend or wife through dating apps, which is 1 out of 3 viable channels, this video is for you. The first thing we're going to talk about is profile setup. Then your daily activity. Little hint, dating apps only take 15 minutes a day for one quality date per week. We're going to touch on messaging. Then there's something that's obligatory to occur before and during the date. And then we'll talk about the date briefly as well. So when it comes to profile setup, boom, that worked better than expected. The first thing is photos. Most likely, your photos aren't great right now. You probably have average photos because maybe you know how to dress professionally, but you don't maximize your looks. The single greatest determinant of your success on dating apps is your photos. But it's not just getting professional pictures, that's not it. First of all, you have to choose the right outfits. You gotta get somebody to help you maximize your looks. I've done this now with clients from 40 countries from all around the world, hundreds of them. It's very difficult if we look in the mirror to see what's wrong. They're called blind spots for a reason, things we don't know, unconscious incompetencies. So get somebody to give you feedback on your outfits. That's extremely important. There's 4 types of photos you wanna have. The first one, I'm not gonna draw right now. Fernanda actually drew this because my handwriting sucks. The first type of photo you wanna have is professional photography. The second one is lifestyle. Third is social proof. The fourth one is status enhancing elements. Those are the 4 types of photos you have to have. Then your bio really matters. Highly individual, avoid massive blocks of text and write them in bullet points. And your prompts. When it comes to your prompt, 2/3 have to be fun and lighthearted, and 1/3 should convey your values. Now let's talk about activity. Before we even talk about activity, I think one thing that we missed here in phase 1, if you will, is the choice of the platform. In other words, which particular dating app do you want to use? And so there's a couple of ones. Let's write them out here. If you're in the UK or in the US, or anywhere in the West, really, Germany has a couple of different ones, but for most, it's going to be Hinge. I'm really trying to write clearly here. And Bumble. And Raya. When it comes to the choice of the platform. These are the ones you want to use in the beginning to start out with. You can just use one theoretically. I did it with a client of mine in London 4 weeks ago, 50-year-old business owner. And within 48 hours, he got 11 quality phone numbers from women he was really interested in just from Hinge alone. We haven't even set up Bumble or Raya yet because he was overwhelmed with the quality that was coming in here. We're going to talk about a very important step here in a second. Choice of the platform, start with those. Prompts we talked about. When it comes to activities, swipes. How many times should you swipe right per day? 10 times per day is more than enough in the beginning. This is not about swiping right 50 or 100 times per day. That's not going to help you. Most of the matches you'll actually get will come from women liking you, then appearing in the like section of your profile, and then you liking them back and thereby creating a match. But that obviously only works if you have premium. With all of those, it's extremely important that you get, let's call this a plus here, that you get the premium versions. Hinge X, I believe it's called, Bumble Premium. Raya, you need referrals, so we refer clients to get into Raya. There's no guarantee that you'll get in, but you need at least 1 or 2 referrals and your Instagram has to be connected. It's a little bit more premium, if you will, but you don't need Raya if you can't get in. Hinge and Bumble are more than good enough. For some people, Tinder works. If you're in Germany, Lavu, Badu, there's some other ones that work well. Facebook, dating is okay. Christian Mingle, for example, is also a possibility. So 10 swipes right per day. 10 per day per platform. Right per day is enough. Boosts, at least 1 to 2 boosts per week. 1 to 2 boosts per week. Super likes or roses is what they're called on Hinge. That's something you have to test. For some, roses on Hinge don't work at all. For some, they work really well. What I would encourage you to do is spend $50 on roses on Hinge and then track. Okay, I'm getting 25 roses, let's say. I don't know how much exactly it costs. And I spent $50 to get them. Now, if out of those 25 roses, you get 1 date, Good ROI, huh? $50, 50 pounds or euros or dollars for one really quality date is a really good return on investment. And now let's talk about messaging. When it comes to messaging, the first thing you have to dial in is your openers. Most men suck at openers. You probably suck at texting. You don't know how much potential you're wasting right now because you don't know how to text. When it comes to openers, the first thing is tailoring it to her profile. Duh, but there's nothing in her profile. There is. You just don't see the matrix. So let me give you a couple of openers you can use just in case there's really nothing. One you can always use as a standard one is, you seem like you have great energy, Sarah. Or if she has a dog and you have a dog, you could say, we should go on a dog double date someday. I just wouldn't know if I'd be able to handle it if they got on better than we do. Or if she has a good outfit, you can say, it must be difficult to maintain a manicure like that given your active lifestyle. And then her name. Or another one that's really good is, you seem like you have a great balance between elegant and yet still fun. If you don't know what to do, use these openers. Now, when it comes to texting, in my coaching program, we teach a texting framework in detail. And every single day, I help my clients personally with their texting. Me and my coaching team, which is basically just one other coach and my mentor, the guy that I learned from many years ago, we help our clients every single day. So if you want us to help you with that personally, with any of this, click the link below and apply for a free initial consultation. We'll help you, no issue. The next step. So you do all of this, you're gonna get tons of matches straight away, or at least enough. All of this, 15 minutes a day, once it's set up, should lead to at least one quality date per week, minimum, absolute minimum, 2 per month. Now, I have clients who get 3, 4, 5 dates a week just from dating apps, right? Then you might have to spend half an hour or 45 minutes a day on them, but I recommend no more than 50 minutes a day because that's enough to get one quality date a week. Now, what do you do with all the volume you get? This step is extremely important because you're never just going to get only the right options. You're going to get more of the right ones and more of the wrong ones. So what you have to do is you have to screen. You have to filter out the wrong options. Obviously, that's done in part on the date through various different tools, one of them being radical honesty, not just rocking up to the date and asking her questions like it's an interview, but being radically honest and thereby discovering a potential lack of compatibility very quickly. Screening happens in a couple of different ways. So you set up your profile, then you're gonna get all these options coming to you, and then what you wanna look at is her profile. That's one. Her texting. There are sentences. And we actually have a live call with the clients in 35 minutes where I help them with that personally. There are certain sentences a normal person, man or woman, would never say. I've just done this. I know I've seen tens of thousands. I actually don't know, 10,000. I don't know the exact number, right? A ton of conversations. And I can tell you, I've gotten plenty of experience myself after I ended the relationship with my ex-wife. There are certain sentences that a normal person would never say. And I can save you from so much suffering. You can do this yourself by just getting a lot more reps, but you have to carefully analyze your texting and see, is this what a normal person would say? Now, if her texts get shorter, she takes longer to respond, it may also be because your texting sucks. I see this so many times where clients actually have decent profiles. Obviously, with a lot of clients, with most clients, we completely rebuild it. With some, the biggest lever is just the texting. Make it a couple of different changes, boom, 4 dates a month. I have another client, in his life, I believe, he went on 2 dates from dating apps. Within 4 weeks, he went on 8 dates after we completely rebuilt the profile, right? So you look at her profile, you look at her texting. What do you specifically screen for? Filters. Is she using a lot of filters? If she doesn't have a picture of her full body, that might be an indicator that you may not want to meet her. What else do you want to look for? Certain facial expressions. I can look at somebody's eyes and tell you whether that person, man or woman, is dead on the inside. You know when they look like this? Not fully dead on the inside, but there's a certain, when the eyelids come down a little bit, it's things you don't even notice. Oh yeah, she's attractive. You don't want to meet her as your girlfriend or wife. Because remember, there's a difference in just dating, but that's not what I'm here for. I help you, through these videos or in the coaching program, find a quality girlfriend or wife for life. a life partner. So you need to screen entirely differently. So you want to look for a congruence in values. So that's what you look for. You also look at her prompt or her bio. Are there any red flags, excessive alcohol or smoking or any other signs? You got to screen the profile very carefully, and then you got to screen the texting really, really carefully. Now, if you're not sure, just meet her for a date. Don't disqualify too quickly. It depends. If you have 2-3 dates a week, if you have more potential dates than time, then obviously screen out and just focus on the ones you want, because it's about quality, not just pure quantity. But then, if you're not sure, especially in the beginning, and you just want to work on your communication skills, because that's an area of improvement for you also, just meet her for the date. Now, when you're on the date, we have plenty of other videos that go into detail here. A little bit of structure, obviously texting framework in detail. Just make sure that when you've gone through your texting, that on the day, for example, if today is a Tuesday, today's actually a Monday, but if today was a Tuesday and I was scheduling the date for a Thursday, then if I don't talk to her tomorrow on Wednesday, on a Thursday at like 10 or 11 in the morning, I'll say, see you later at 7. Boom. Just like see you later at 7. If you want to add an emoji to that or not, that's fine. Be careful with emojis, by the way. If you're not sure which emojis to use, just don't use any. This emoji here you can use. Come a bit closer. Boom. Just like that. Just a very simple, normal smiley emoji. That's the only one. Because you're a grown man. Can you please stop texting like a teenager? The amount of times I see successful business owners and men who are crushing it in their career or business, respectable people, text like teenagers is hilarious. You are not a teenager. Stop using emojis where it's blushing. She just can't take you seriously. But David, aren't you majoring in something minor? Yeah, but look, becoming a good communicator is not just fixing one big thing. It's about fixing a lot of little things. 150 small things, they then all put together, boom, and all of a sudden communication works. So on the day off, send a confirmation text. You don't need to pick her up. If you're in Dubai, that's different, but in the US and the UK, the woman is probably going to come to the date herself. You can then, after the date, offer to pay for Uber home, or you guys choose to go home together, whichever one you want. But yeah, you're going to meet her for the date, and we have a different video on this YouTube channel. We have two actually. One that's 30 minutes long called The Perfect First Date, I believe. You should absolutely watch that. And then we have another one on 4 conversation subjects that you can use on the date. Check this one out. So let me recap this really quick, and 1 or 2 more important notes. Make sure you spend time on this. It doesn't take all of the time. You need to get professional pictures. We also have an AI tool that's insane. Most AI tools for photos are complete nonsense. We have some that work extremely well, but you can just use professional photography. But also get social proof in there, status enhancing elements, and lifestyle. But please really be careful to have no bad angles, no bad lighting, because she will judge you by your worst photo, not your best. Sometimes you'll have that where a woman matches with you and then the conversation dies out, not even because your texting sucked, but because she took a closer look at your photo and something else caused friction. You need to make sure that you reduce friction in the profile. That is your main job. It's not to make her fall in love with you. It's to reduce friction so then you can screen and then meet her for the date, and the actual attraction and connection is built on the date itself. Bio prompts, extremely important. It only takes 50 minutes a day. That's the beautiful thing. Super likes, gotta test them. Not on Tinder, by the way. On Hinge, they're called roses. On Bumble, they're called super swipes, I believe. Test them, okay? And if they work, they work. You shouldn't have to spend more than $50 for one date. Whatever your budget is, obviously. If that's a little bit too much, no worries. But you definitely have to get the premium versions of Hinge, Bumble, and Raya. Without those, your results are gonna suck. And when it comes to messaging, use the openers that I gave you. If you want us to help you with any of that personally, as I said, click the link below, apply for a free initial consultation. Talk to you soon.